Okay, let's take the exercise what we are going to do. The idea is to give the internet access to the instance private subnet. Some subjective. Give internet access instances in private subnet. This is the objective. So we are going to implement this process manually. So can you hear me now? Is it clear? Okay, fine. So this is our objective. So I will explain you how we are going to achieve this. Take this one. So first of all, we need a VPC. We need a VPC. We need one public subnet, one private subnet. Public and private subnets. Public and private subnets. Number 3. So we need, internet gateways, all those things are there. We need one instance in public, one instance in private. If I say instance, I'm talking about EC2 instance. So I want to test it, right? So I need one instance in public and I need one more instance in private. And I will log into that private instance and I will verify whether we have an internet connection for this or not once our exercise is done. So we need to create a NAT instance which is used for giving internet access to the private subnet. I will show that also for you. NAT instance. We should create a NAT instance. That's the next one. And we should update route table. So if you remember, while talking about internet gateway, when we gave access to that public subnet, we modified that route table. So we should do the same for for NAT instance also. So create a NAT instance and add this instance to the routing table of private subnet such that via this instance your private subnet gets internet access. Modify route table of private subnet and add So we should add the route. We should add the NAT to the route of that private subnet. So once this is done, we need to test it. If I want to test, I should log into the instance in private subnet, then check for the internet connection. The sixth one is log in to the instance in private subnet and check internet connection. This is our exercise. This is what we're planning to do now. Let's also do a cleanup. So once this exercise is done, I want to clean it up to save the bill, whatever it is. Let's clean up the resources, everything. So if you want to do it again and again, you can repeat this process. So if you want to become familiar, right, you can do this process multiple times. So finally, clean up. That is delete VPC itself. Let's get started for this. Let's log into AWS console. Under services, I want VPC. So I want to even remove the old VPCs there. So in order to avoid the confusions, I want to remove them. So select all, go to actions, okay. Oh, is it okay? This is the default one, right? Yeah, delete. One second, what I'm deleting there? Oh, we have, okay. I want these two to be deleted. Okay, I can do one at a time maybe. So delete. Okay, fine. So it says VPC has an instance which is not terminated. We need to terminate it, then delete it. So meanwhile, I think the other one doesn't have it. So let's delete that guy. Yeah, it's asking, should we delete all these things? Say yes. I want to delete everything. Okay. We have initiated the deletion of NAT gateway in the VPC. However, we could not complete. Okay, fine. It also has some few things. Yeah. So let's go to EC2. Let's clean up everything first. And it says there is a NAT instance in that, so it's not able to delete that one. So action terminate. Okay. So otherwise, let's get started, man. So let me clean it up later. So go to VPC. So I want to create a VPC first. So create VPC. I want to call this as a VPC NAT demo. So it will be easy for me to remember when I clean it up. So VPC NAT demo. So cider block range, we already discussed about these things. The first two digits right here, I mean 2 like 10.200, that represents the VPC range. So tenancy I'm going with default. I'm creating it. That's right. So next one, I need a couple of subnets. So there are lots of subnets there. I thought of cleaning it up, so I'm deleting VPC. That's fine. So create a subnet. I need a couple of subnets here. So NAT demo. So one, let me keep it as public. The other one, let's keep it as private. So NAT demo public. So where we need this subnet under? I need this subnet under VPC NAT demo. So cider block range again. 10.200 dot, let me call it as 1.0/24. So one is public. The other one is going to be private. Shall I create it? Okay, not an issue. It will assign a default availability zone. It's using 2A by default. That's fine.
But here, when we create the subnet CIDR block, if let's say if I give 10.200 again 0.0 instead of 1.0,
it not work. It won't work.
But yesterday when I tried to create it, accepted. It accepted.
Is it? Let me check. Let me check. So let me call it as NAT demo. Okay, 0.0, right? Yes, it works. Yes, it works. Yeah, it works.
That's not an issue.
Yeah, that's not an issue.
It's not an issue.
No, it's assuming that 0 as its subnet range. So again, we cannot give a same. If you're creating one more subnet, right? Again, you cannot say 10.200.0. That's not accepted. So NAT demo private subnet. Choose the right VPC. Be careful while doing this one. We need to put it in the right VPC. So early it was choosing the first one, right? Default. Now let me put it as 2B. It's your choice. It all depends on the requirement. So again, the cider block range 200.2.0/24. So we are creating two different subnets. One subnet in a different availability zone, the other subnet in a different availability zone. That doesn't matter for our exercise. We need two. One public facing, I mean internet facing, the other one is not internet facing, the private one. Let's create it. So what is next now? So one subnet I should make it as private and other one I should make it as public. So let us create an internet gateway, attach it to public subnet. That's what we should, correct? So what about route tables now? So whenever we create a VPC and subnets, by default we get one route table, correct? No need to explicitly create it. By default we get one route table Even we discussed how that route table looks like in the previous session. Now the default route, correct? It's not having any internet gateway as a route. Yes or no? So if internet gateway is not attached, it's going to be private subnet. Shall I? This is the one VPC NAT demo. This is the one which is a default route table. Let's see this guy. Is it attached with internet gateway? No. It is going to be private. So by default it is a private subnet because it's not internet facing. Let's do one thing. Let us give a good name for this one. NAT demo private route. Shall I do it? Yes. So this is the route table attached with your public subnet as well as, both the subnets as of now. But if you want to make one subnet as a public, its route table should have the internet gateway attached, right? So let us create internet gateway and let us create one more route table for the public subnet. See, this is clear, I think so. We have a VPC, we have two subnets, we have one route table for both the subnets, and that route table doesn't have any internet gateway. Meaning, as of now, both the subnets are private. Even the name says public, private, both are private subnets. So only one I want to make it as a public. So what we should do now? If you modify the same route table, what happens? Both subnets becomes public. I don't want that. I want to create a new route table. Attach this new route table to that public subnet. So how to create a route table? So go to this route tables, create route table, give a name, public route. The other one I gave NAT demo private route. For this I'm giving a name saying public route. So again the VPC is important here. So I want it under VPC NAT demo.
Please change the name. Says A.
Sorry?
It's Nat, right?
Oh, I wrote ant. Okay. So NAT demo public route. So create this route table, add internet gateway to this, then attach this route table to the public subnet, so it becomes a public subnet. Shall I create? So you must know the procedure, you must know the process at least. So creating them is easy. If you know what you're doing, it's easy. Right, so let's see this guy. So for this, I want to edit, I want to add internet gateway, and I want to attach this to the public subnet. Right now we don't have internet gateways, right? Shall I create one? I will open this in a new tab. It's already there. No, this is for different VPC. Let me create this for our VPC. NAT demo IGW Internet Gateway. So when we create internet gateway, it is not attached to any VPC. We need to manually go and say attach it. See this one, by default it is detached. Select this guy, say attach to VPC. Which VPC? This one only. VPC NAT demo. Yes, attach. Okay, now our VPC has an internet gateway. Go back to your route. What we should do here? Add one more route, correct? Right now, this is the default route we have. Add one more route. It's not okay. Correct. So I want to give internet access to the outside world. So any machine, they can reach my public subnet. For that, I want to do 0.0.0.0/0. What about the target, that internet gateway? Correct? That's it. We need to save this guy. Huh? No, I'll come to that. See, we created one route. In that route, we added this one, internet gateway. But this is not attached to any subnet. If you remember, both the subnets attached to that default subnet, default route table itself. Now, I need to attach that public subnet to this route table. So the next tab is subnet associations. So go here. It says, see this one, you do not have any subnet associations, meaning there is a route, but there are no subnet associations for this one. How to add it? Just click edit. No, private is already there. The default is private. We created one more by attaching internet gateway to the route. That becomes a public. That, see, I'm saying this is your route, correct? This I created newly. This is a public routing. Other one is private routing. Now associate this one with subnets. Subnets where I want to attach this one. First one or second one? No, it should be public, right? So select this and say save. So public.
Second one, how we got it?
See, when we created this subnet, right? It has a main route, default route table. I can change it. If I put both will come into public subnet now. But I don't want to do that. I want only one to be in the public subnet. See, this has already a route table, default route table, which doesn't have any internet way route. I think there is a question. Please give us the flow diagram after this explanation. Okay, surely I will give it. I'll explain you what we did. Save.
When you created this public subnet,
Huh?
we have attached the internet. We are creating the internet gateway for that.
Huh?
Attach the VPC internet.
Huh?
What is the need of subnet association with this?
Routing. I'm putting a route, right? I need
The
to.
route has been attached to the VPC.
That I don't want. That is private. Correct. One is private. One I need as a public. I'll tell you that. I will explain you what we did right now.
So, this last time we were telling that for private subnets, we also need access for internet gateways
Huh?
to add some patches or something.
Correct.
So, with the same subnet association, we will be doing it.
Yes, that's the process we are trying to do. Correct. Let me show a diagram better. See, first of all, what we did. We created a VPC. I will give you the picture for you. We created a VPC. That's clear. What is its? Should I put all IP range? I don't think so. Not required. Correct. So then we created a couple of subnets. Let's say this is what's the name we gave? NAT demo private subnet. This is one. We created one more, which is public subnet, correct? With a name. This is clear at least. So when we create subnets, VPC going to have a default route table. We discuss about that. Yes, it's going to have a default route table. How it looks like? How it looks like? This is the one. This is a default route. Does it has a route for internet? No. What does it mean now? Both subnets are not internet facing. Both are kind of private subnets. I don't know how to take a screenshot of this. At least let me copy this there. This is Mac actually. That's fine. Not an issue. We'll do it. Okay. Right now, it is the one attached with both. That's clear. Clear. The arrow marks are different, but let's ignore it. Correct. Destination is this one. The range of your VPC target is local and active and something like what it says. Any instance in any subnet can communicate with this machine with this subnet. It's a network within the subnet, right? Sorry, it's a network within a VPC. So all the instances in this VPC can communicate. That's clear. That's clear. Okay. Is it internet facing now?
One question. While creating the VPC itself, you have given 0.0.0.
Huh?
Then it becomes internet.
No. See, when we say a subnet is um, internet facing, only when it has internet connection, right? Otherwise, we cannot call it as a public subnet. If you see the route table of both the subnets, there is no route for internet. So obviously, it's going to be a private subnet. That's clear? Fine.
Create gateway will by default establish the internet connection.
No. Creating a gateway, we got internet connection. You decide to which subnet you want to provide it by modifying that route table. This is fine, right? So this is your default route table. What we did now, we created one more route like this. Okay, we created one more route and we associated this guy with that public route. Remember that. So let me copy paste the same. Correct? We created one more. What this guy have now? I'm sorry. There are a couple of route tables, one for private, one for public. The private doesn't have route for internet. The public has the route for internet. This is what we did as of now. That's clear. You can take this picture if you want. So you must know the basic actually. So when a subnet becomes public subnet, if it is internet facing, then it becomes public subnet. So when it becomes private subnet, if it is not internet facing directly, it's not internet facing, then we call it as a private subnet. Okay, next one. We should create NAT instance. We should create NAT instance in a public subnet. Remember that it should be in a public subnet. So which is used for translating the internet to the private subnet. Like both the ways, like inbound as well as outbound. And remember, again, just creating NAT doesn't mean we are giving internet access to the private subnet. After creating a NAT, I need to add it to its routing table. Remember that. So likewise, we did for internet gateway. We created internet gateway that is added to the route table. Then only were you able to use this internet gateway for this public subnet. Likewise, we should create a NAT instance plus modify the routing table of private subnet. Okay, let's do that one now. So creating NAT instance now. Go to EC2. Go to EC2 because NAT instance is nothing but your EC2 instance. EC2. Say launch instance, probably you should take these steps. Creating a NAT instance. EC2 launch instance. So we used to go with quick start, right? Now that's not the case. We need to go with community AMIs. Community AMIs. Search for NAT. So don't go with quick start. That is a normal EC2. So NAT instance is something special. So go with community AMI, search for NAT and pick up one of the instances there. So I'm going with the first option. Shall I do it? So again, the same process. So it's asking for the size of your instance, like how many virtual CPUs, how many memory, all those things. I'm going with the default one, which is free tier eligible. We'll discuss that one. I'll talk about what is micro, small, large, extra large. I'll talk about that. As of now, I'm going with that free tier. Okay, configure instance details. I want only one. So again, be careful while choosing the VPC. VPC NAT demo. And again, select the right subnet where this should go into. Public subnet. We also need a public IP or elastic IP. For now, I'm going with public IP. I'm saying enable. So IAM role right now, I don't need it. Stop behavior, I don't need it. Remaining things kind of default. Storage, I'm going with again default. Name, just some name. Security group, I want to go with the default one. Oh, or let me create a new one. So I need the source says security group. I don't need the source as a security group. I want this to be the outside world. So the source should be kind of 0.0.0.0/0. So shall I go with a new one? I'll go with a new one. Let me call it as NAT demo security group. Yes, I want all protocols here, all traffic. Source can be all. Because this guy is going to be internet facing now. So if you have anything like custom IP range, then you go with that. If you don't have, just leave it with 0 dot or all zeros there. Yeah. Yes. NAT instance is free eligible. That's what we saw there. I'll see that one. So if you see free, right, just choose it. Right now we are not building any production based infrastructure, correct? We are trying to learn the basics. So how to use NAT, go with something which is free as of now. Okay, review and launch. Okay, again, I'm just going with the default one there. It says free tier eligible. You can review what all we have chosen there. We can review it if you want. And finally, you can say launch. So I'm going with the same key pair, right? Why we use key pair? It's for password-less authentication. So acknowledge this one, launch it. Fine. We created NAT, but remember, it's not attached with any route table. It is there, but it's not in use. So we got a NAT now. So what's next? It's a very big exercise, man. It's not small one. It's a very big exercise. But all of you know how to create VPC subnets. Even we discussed about routing, how to create a routing table, how to attach it, how to associate it, or how to unassociate it. So those things we know, but it's a lengthy process actually. See, the NAT instance is running. What is next? Modify the route table of which one? Private subnet or public subnet? Private. Private. So modify the routing table of private and attach this guy as a route. But there is one indirect question here also. So while working with NAT, we need to disable source destination check. Please take that point. Very important. Note, while using NAT, we should disable source destination check. So why this one is, see, the source and destination of your data, right? Or the traffic is not NAT. NAT is kind of mediator. If any traffic comes, it will pass it to the private subnet. If private subnet is sending any outbound traffic that comes to NAT, that is sent out to some other source. The source and destination for your traffic is not NAT. It's a kind of mediator in between. We must disable it. So go change source destination check. Disable it. If you don't disable, it won't work. This is your interview question.
Under action, what it is? Under actions.
Action networking, actions networking, change source destination check. By default, it is enabled. While working with NAT, we should disable it. So what is next? Modify the routing table of your private subnet. The source of traffic, what is NAT? Is it sending the traffic or it's taking the traffic and passing it to the private subnet? It's not the source of your traffic. It's not the destination of your traffic. Correct? If someone is accessing from my internet, let's say, that should go via the NAT. The NAT itself is not the source. NAT itself is not the destination. That is sitting in between your private subnet and the internet. It's a kind of translator there. That's the reason we should disable it. So next point is modify the route table of private subnet. Modify the route table of private subnet. Go to VPC. Click route tables. We have given a good name, right? NAT demo private route. Select this guy. How many times here? Yes, it is free. NAT instance, it says free tier only, right? So edit, add another route 0.0.0.0/0. So one is internet gateway, other one is NAT instance, and say save. Yes. NAT instance is in public subnet, of course, but the routing table we are modifying is private one. Now your private subnet got internet connection. This is the process. Our implementation is done. We need to test it. So testing, I need an instance. Create an instance, try to log into that, and just try to Google from that instance. If it is working, then it has a internet. Otherwise, it doesn't have internet. So let me do one thing. So let me continue this process tomorrow. I think we talked about lots of things. Correct? So I'll do one thing. I will go through the steps what we did one more time. Okay. So first, let me. So how to test this one? I want one EC2 instance in a private subnet. Obviously. But there is a problem. So can we from internet directly ping EC2 which is in private subnet? No. No. We cannot. We can SSH the instances only in public subnet. Public subnet. For testing this, I need one more EC2 in public. Log into that public. So once you log into that public EC2 instance, you are inside the VPC network. Once you are in the VPC network, from there you can communicate with this EC2. It's quite. See this one. The first point is we cannot directly SSH EC2 instance which is in private. That's not possible. Can we SSH EC2 instance which is in public? Yes. So I'm going to take help of EC2 in public. First log into this using SSH. Once you log into this, you are inside VPC now. Once you are inside VPC, there is a route from the instance in this subnet into the other subnet. From here again to SSH to the private instance. Otherwise the instance in private subnet. There try to ping google.com, google.in. If it is responding, then we can conclude there is internet access. Otherwise there is no internet access. Yes. To test this one. To test this one, I cannot directly log into EC2 in private. No, you cannot SSH. That's not public facing. It is having only private IP address. That's not public IP address. So for testing this, I need to enter into VPC. From there, I can enter into my EC2 and check the internet connection. To test it, I'm saying. Now create one instance in public. Provide public IP. SSH into that. Once you are inside the VPC, correct? So inside the network. Now you can talk to any EC2 instance inside the network. From there, SSH into EC2 and check it. That I will do. Correct. Generally, public. Web servers will go under public. DB servers generally go under private.
For our testing purpose, so tomorrow you will install the Apache.
No, nothing. I need just machine. Nothing. I need a machine there, that's all. SSH into that. From there, SSH into your private subnet instance and verify the internet connection. So in real time, what happens, right? There are different ways to connect your network. Let's say We have some network in Java Home. So I want to club this network to my VPC such that anyone can directly talk. See, now what's happening? We are not connecting, right? Our network is not connected with VPC. What we are doing is we are taking help of public subnet. Then I'm logging into the VPC and doing that one. So what happens in the companies, there might be a direct connect, there might be a VPN. What they do is, let's say there is a company provided network. There we have lots of machines. See, we have a company network.
In the local data center.
Maybe, yes, yeah, local data center. Let's say this is our Java Home Java Home network, which is on our premise. Let's say all of our laptops here. We can connect these two guys. Then I can directly talk to any instance in the VPC. Let's say this is my laptop. Oh. This is my laptop, let's say. Now my laptop is inside the network of VPC also. I have a direct connection right now. I can ping any machine. Like we're clubbing the machines on our company with the machines in cloud. Then we can have direct access, direct communication.
Private they don't have any internet connection.
Sorry?
Private subnet,
Huh?
they don't have internet connection.
Internet is not required. Network is there, right? Connectivity is there, right?
Locally connected.
Yes, locally connected.
Kind of LAN connection.
Correct. If I connect your machine and my machine in a network, there is no need of internet. I can talk to your machine directly. So there is VPN, direct connect, and different ways.
How we connect that local network with VPC. And for that you need.
Correct. No, for that, one is direct connect, which doesn't require internet at all. One is VPN, it requires internet connection. Those are the things. What happens is, let's say, we're all developers there. Those are the laptops of the developers. They want to control the instances, let's say. They want to restart something, they want to start something, they want to install something, correct? They can directly SSH now. But in our case, we cannot do that because we don't have our own network here, and I didn't take any VPN connection, or I didn't take any direct connect. So I cannot directly communicate. Only option is log into public. From there, you can reach any instance in your VPC.
In daytime scenarios, do we need to do this job?
Definitely yes.
Of connecting the local systems to VPCs.
Obviously, right? So developers are working on a local network of the company, and they should have access to the cloud. So probably yes. Some people, they do like this only. They won't have direct connect or VPN connection. They log into a public one, then they do all those things. That's also there. So I will share this video. I'll share this video. Please, everyone, watch it. Come tomorrow. Let us continue our discussion on this. I will finish that NAT instance and gateway both.